12 simple signs to recognize ghosts. But can you believe it? Are ghosts real? Strange noises in the middle of the night. The heavy sound of wind whistling in the dark. Sometimes they make you startled, get goosebumps, and feel like someone is staring at you from an empty room. Is there a ghost in your house? The answer is just maybe. Because in reality, there is no solid evidence to confirm that ghosts exist alongside humans. So the answer yes or no is still completely unfounded. However, whether you believe it or not, in most cultures around the world today, there are still many signs to recognize ghosts in the house, and the following 12 popular tricks will help you quickly determine whether your house is haunted or not in just a few notes. Tonight, you can try applying these signs to check the peace in your house. However, if you find any of the following signs, stay calm because there is a good chance that someone is trying to scare you. 1. Strange noises. This is one of the most common signs. It could be footsteps, knocking on doors, rustling leaves as if someone is stepping on them in the garden, tapping on walls, objects falling, or even the sound of children crying or laughing. Some of these noises may be soft and intermittent, while others can be loud, piercing, or continuous. Recognizing a haunted house by strange noises. If you hear these unusual sounds, the best course of action is not to respond. For example, do not knock back if you hear tapping on the wall. Instead, call someone else, like a parent, to check the noise. Some beliefs suggest that reacting to these ghostly activities might increase the chances of a spirit possessing you. 2. Based on feelings, a very obvious sign is the feeling that someone is staring at you or standing right behind you. Even though there is no physical contact, you might sense an invisible presence that makes your hair stand on end, causing you to want to run out of the room or scream for help. What's even more unsettling is that when you turn around, there's no one there. While it could just be someone playing tricks on you, there is also a possibility that your house is being visited by a spirit. 3. Doors opening and closing on their own regardless of whether it's the main door, windows, wardrobe doors, kitchen cabinets, or bookshelves. You remember closing them, but just a few minutes later, they are wide open. This could be a strong indication that your house has a ghost, whether it's real or just someone trying to scare you, especially if you're home alone at night. 4. Objects moving on their own. One night, you suddenly see a scarf or a piece of clothing floating around the house for a few seconds. Sometimes it could even be a relatively heavy object. While this sounds terrifying and hard to believe, some people believe that spirits have the ability to manipulate objects. Another minor sign is when you place an object somewhere before going to sleep, only to wake up and find it in a completely different location. Are you sleepwalking, or is there a ghost in your house? Try to observe for a few more nights and check for other signs to figure it out. 5. Electrical appliances turning on or off automatically. This could include lights flickering unexpectedly, a TV turning on in the middle of the night, even though it was off, or other electronic devices behaving strangely. While it may seem unbelievable, these are signs worth paying attention to. 6. Mysterious shadows. Ghosts don't always appear in human form. Sometimes they can be a white blur, a streak of light, or a dark silhouette. If you're using your computer or watching a movie and notice these strange appearances, especially if they occur repeatedly over several days, it might be a good idea to have someone stay with you at night. Searching for an exact ghostly figure might not be the best way to identify a haunted house. Some people even notice bruises, scratches, or skin damage on their bodies, leading them to believe that spirits are responsible. 7. Pets exhibiting strange behavior. For instance, cats meowing or dogs barking continuously while staring at a particular corner of the house. But when you check, there's nothing there, and the dog keeps barking. Don't rush to scold your pet. Research suggests that animals have heightened senses compared to humans. However, don't immediately assume your house is haunted just because your pet is acting strangely. Their behavior could be influenced by other factors like temperature, lighting, noise, illness, or stress. Before jumping to supernatural conclusions, check your pet's health. It might also be helpful to research the history of your home to see if any tragic events occurred there. If you find evidence of paranormal activity, you might consider methods to dispel the spirits or even move to a new place for safety. Children's reactions to spirits. Some believe that children can sense ghosts more easily than adults. Since they are innocent and unaware of such concepts, if they stare at a corner of the house or a strange object for no reason, it could indicate paranormal activity. 8. Sudden changes in temperature. Many believe that if the temperature suddenly drops, it is a strong sign that a spirit is present. If you step into your house on a hot summer day and suddenly get chills, there might be an unseen presence. Be sure to check your home's temperature regularly. 9. Whispers and crying sounds. If you're alone in a room but hear whispering or soft crying around you, or even a faint melody coming from nowhere, it could be an eerie sign. Try to determine where the sound is coming from. If it happens frequently, avoid being alone. 10. Unexplained sense in the air. Most people rely on sight and hearing to detect spirits, but some claim they can also smell them. For instance, you might suddenly catch a whiff of a perfume that a deceased loved one used to wear. If such scents appear randomly or linger in the house, could it mean they are visiting? Not all ghostly scents are negative. Some can be pleasant or familiar, like flowers, perfume, tobacco, food, or baked goods. These scents might come from friendly spirits trying to communicate with the living. Before concluding that you're sensing a ghostly presence, rule out other possible explanations. Check if someone is cooking, using perfume, or smoking. Also, see if any windows or vents are open, allowing outside odors to enter. Additionally, investigate if a dead rodent or pet might be the source of an unpleasant smell. Are you ready for tonight's experiment? Stay calm and take these as reference points rather than definitive proof. Ghosts aren't that easy to detect. 11. A baby's gaze. Are you wide-eyed in disbelief? Pay attention to how babies react. Since infants are pure and untainted, some believe they can see spirits. If you carry a baby around the house and they keep staring at an empty space, it could mean there is a ghost there. Children don't know what ghosts are and don't think about fear, so the deceased might make themselves visible to them. 12. Objects appearing and disappearing. This phenomenon is rare but terrifying. Some people claim to have seen objects moving on their own, but not everyone is brave enough to stay and record it. A more common occurrence is when you place something somewhere before bed, only to find it missing in the morning. Later, you randomly discover it in a completely different location.